Get out, you useless wife who can't even manage the house. I sat on the rug, feeling small and humiliated, as my mother-in-law glared at me with disdain. We don't want you here. You're always so gloomy. You're nothing but a burden. My sister-in-law, who never lifts a finger at home, spat venomously. Hold on, Daniel, I tried to protest, but before I could finish, my husband, Victor, shot me a look of disappointment. My mother and sister are right. I don't need a wife who can't handle the house or contribute, Victor said coldly. I've got a young assistant who works part-time at the shop, and she's far better than you. Pack your bags and leave, Victor ordered sharply. The three of them hurled insults, labeling me a terrible wife. My hands balled into fists, rage simmering inside me. After exploiting me for years, how could they treat me this way? Just wait. You'll all regret this. But I kept my face neutral and said, Fine, I'll go. The family that's been dumping everything on me will soon see the consequences. My name's Clara, I'm 34, and I'm a working wife. In today's world, many women balance careers and marriage. I've stayed at the same firm I joined after college because I love my job. One morning, as I prepared for work, Victor handed me a stack of receipts and invoices. Hey, Clara, can you take care of this? Tax season's approaching. Again? You should manage the store's bookkeeping, I said. The next day, Victor avoided my gaze. You're better at it, so please do it. I married Victor 6 years ago. He used to work at a diner I frequented. After a few dates, we tied the knot. Now, Victor runs his own bakery, but he leaves tedious tasks like procurement and accounting to me. As I left for work, my mother-in-law chimed in, Clara, I want Italian tonight. Pick up the ingredients. No, do it after work. Also, Sophia and her kids are visiting this weekend. Prepare something they'll enjoy, she added. I nodded reluctantly before heading out. When we married, I wanted to live alone with Victor, but he insisted we stay with his mother, citing her loneliness. So we moved into his sprawling family home. My mother-in-law isn't fond of cleaning, and the house was chaotic when we arrived. She lives off her pension but spends most of it dining out, as she hates cooking. Victor believes housework is a woman's duty, so despite my job, I handle all the household tasks for everyone. To top it off, my sister-in-law, Sophia, who moved out after her marriage, frequently returns with her children. When she's around, my workload doubles. That morning, hearing she'd visit again, I groaned inwardly. Not again. Then the dreaded weekend arrived. I'd love to unwind on my days off, but instead, I'm stuck babysitting Sophia's kids and cooking while scrambling. Sophia dropped a bombshell. Clara, by the way, I'm getting divorced and moving back here with the kids next month, just so you know. What? Seriously? I stammered. That must be tough. When are you moving in? I asked. As soon as possible, she replied. Initially shocked, I thought it might be a silver lining. Sophia was a homemaker before, so she might pitch in with chores, lightening my load. Though we weren't close, I hoped for less work and carried on. But I was sorely mistaken. Sophia, like her mother, did nothing. She lounged all day, watching shows and munching snacks. She neither worked nor helped around the house. Her laziness had contributed to her divorce. Now, I was stuck doing all the chores, cooking for her picky kids and getting them ready for school. Meanwhile, my job grew demanding with a new project requiring longer hours and early starts. The house became messier by the day. Returning to a cluttered home was disheartening. Yet everyone kept asking, "Where's dinner?" or complaining, "You're so slow." Worse, Sophia and my mother-in-law started making snide remarks. Clara, the dishes are piling up. Just because you work doesn't mean you can slack off, my mother-in-law scolded. I tried to explain, but Sophia cut in. Talking back to your mother-in-law? So bold, Clara. And you've been ordering takeout. That's not healthy for the kids. If you're home, can't you help a bit? I snapped. What are you saying? Victor runs a business. You don't need to work. You're just selfish, she retorted. Be a proper wife. I was floored. They acted like this was normal. That night, furious, I confronted Victor. I'm swamped with work, and neither your mom nor Sophia helps with chores, I said. Are you bad-mouthing my family? Victor glared. No, I said, stunned. But I can't do everything alone. Can you help? I'm busy with my bakery. You wouldn't understand since you have a cushy office job, but running a business is hard. Housework is your job. Don't expect me to help, he said, then went to bed. leaving me fuming. Then an idea struck. I grabbed my phone and ordered some items online before sleeping. Days later, a slew of gadgets arrived: a washer-dryer combo, a vacuuming robot, and automated kitchen appliances. If no one would help, these would ease my burden. As the delivery team brought in the new washer, my mother-in-law and Sophia walked in. "You bought a new washer without asking?" "The old one's fine," my mother-in-law said. "It's outdated." "This will make laundry quicker," I countered. "What's all this? A cleaning bot and cooking gadgets?" Sophia asked. They summoned me to the living room, where they sat on the couch while I was told to sit on the floor. Victor was there, siding with his mother, looking smug. "What's going on?" I asked. My mother-in-law exploded. "What do you mean? You spent household funds on these lazy machines. What were you thinking?" "I thought they'd help with chores," I said. "It's not about helping. People rely too much on technology," Sophia chimed in. "Exactly, Clara. Those are luxury items. The ones we have work fine. You're wasting money because Victor runs a business," my mother-in-law said, glaring. Victor nodded. "You're just making life easier for yourself. Can't you even manage chores properly?" I wanted to retort, "Look who's talking," but held my tongue. Finally, my mother-in-law, fed up with my silence, snapped, "If you can't handle chores, leave." I stared, shocked. She stared back. "We don't need you. Victor and I can manage without you." "You're always tired and miserable. You're a burden," Sophia added. I looked to Victor for support, but he smirked. "They're right. I don't need a wife who can't handle chores. I've got a young assistant who's prettier and better than you." "Pack your bags and go," he said. Stunned by his words, the three of them kept berating me, calling me a failure as a wife. I clenched my fists in fury. After using me for so long, they dared say this. "Just wait. You'll pay for this." But I stayed calm and said, "All right, I'll leave." "Good. We'll be better off without you," my mother-in-law sneered. I stood quietly, placed something on the table, and said, "Victor, let's divorce." It was a divorce form I'd prepared earlier. "Fine, I'll sign." "Don't come crying later," Victor said, signing the papers. I packed and moved to a temporary apartment that day. No one bid me farewell. I filed the divorce at City Hall and rented a new place. I also accepted a promotion I'd previously declined due to household duties, becoming a team leader. I dove into my career, unburdened. A week after leaving, feeling liberated, my ex-mother-in-law called repeatedly. Busy and unwilling to engage with someone who called me useless, I ignored her. A year later, on a day off, she called again. "Ready to settle things," I answered. "Hello? Clara? Finally. Why'd you ignore me for a year?" she asked. "What do you want?" I replied. "How are you?" "Are you okay?" she asked. "I'm thriving, working hard in my own place. I got a promotion and a raise. I'm living well," I said honestly. "Really? Would you consider coming back?" Her tone was almost desperate. "Why now?" I asked, surprised. "We're struggling financially," she admitted. I smirked. "Oh, Victor's bakery isn't even making $10,000 in profit, huh? And neither you nor Sophia work. That tracks. You knew?" she gasped. "Of course. I managed the finances. Victor's bakery only made about $700 a month. He acted like a big shot but didn't manage it well or care for customers. He probably didn't even know," I said. "I'd handled all the budgeting and knew the bakery's slim margins. I contributed over $2,500 monthly from my salary to keep us afloat. Something Victor likely realized only after I left. "Please, Clara, come back," she pleaded. "What happened to Victor's bakery?" I asked, ignoring her. "It's closing next month. Even the part-time assistant quit. His poor management tanked it," she said. "No surprise. No woman would stay with a man like that," I laughed. She was speechless. "I'm busy." "Can we wrap this up?" I said. "The house is a disaster since you left," she admitted. "No one cleaned, they relied on takeout, and they couldn't afford a new washer. It'd have been nice if you left those gadgets," she said. "What? Those lazy machines? Why shouldn't I take what I paid for?" I retorted. "3 adults can't handle chores. What are Victor and Sophia doing?" She whispered. "Victor's been moping at home since the bakery failed. He thought he could spend freely as a business owner. Sophia refuses to work or clean and asks me for money for her and the kids. My pension's running out." "Really?" "Sophia said she didn't need me because she had you," I said icily. She tried sweet-talking me. "Please, Clara, we'll change. Come back. Let's be happy again." Sure, happy with a useless wife, I cut in. She stammered, apologizing, but kept begging. I'm sorry for what I said. We're family. Help us. We can't pay the house taxes. We might lose it. I don't have to help, and I don't want to. Sort it out yourselves. Goodbye from your useless wife, I said, hanging up and blocking her number, ignoring her pleas. Sipping tea in my neat apartment, I chuckled. 3 months later, I passed Victor's bakery. It was shuttered. Their house was sold too. A neighbor said they'd moved to a cramped apartment nearby, causing trouble with constant fights and mess. They could have worked hard and maintained their home, but they didn't. No surprise, I glanced at their old house and walked away. Since then, I've focused on my career. Recently, a kind coworker confessed, "I admire your dedication, Clara. Let's date, maybe marry." I think my next marriage is on the horizon, and this time, I'm eager for true happiness.